In 2023, I copped the Ayaneo Air Pro handheld. That thing was a pretty penny. That penny was like, yeah, it was up there. But I enjoyed it. I did a few videos on it. If you guys check the channel out, I tested out a bunch of games and really enjoyed it and trying out different things. But over time, there was so many other handhelds that dropped. So what happened? The AYA Neo ended up getting that shelf life for a bit. After a while, I decided to pick it back up because I'm a type of person, no matter how many consoles I got, no matter how many handhelds I got, I ends up picking up my old stuff again. I'm like that. So I decided to go ahead and power it on and about to get ready to jump back in to see if it needs updates and stuff like that, right? And next thing you know, it's not working. Now, of course, the first thing we're gonna do is just charge it up. Okay, so that's the first thing I did. I charged it up, gave it a while. Gave it a long while. There was no charge. It didn't work. Nothing came on. But every time I plugged it up, it came on and it worked. So I guess we already know what's going on with that. It's the battery. So what I did, I reached out to AYA Neo, whatever I don't want to call it, just call it AYA Neo. There's probably like a particular name for it. And I'm not trying to batter it or whatever. You guys let me know in the comments of the pronunciation of it. Okay. Now I reached out to them and they sent me, well, they didn't send it. I had still ordered it because unfortunately, I'm not one of those people that they send out review units and everything else, I'm just, I buy all my stuff. But I was able to get one and so I got it in and everything else. And I was just like, you know what, how to change this battery out. So I'm looking online and see if there's like instructions for how to take this thing apart or dig in it to try to like just change out this battery. I really couldn't find hardly nothing. I couldn't find nothing on how to change this thing out. I decided to go ahead and just be like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot. And I might as well just do it, you guys. It's just like, you know what? I'm just going to, hopefully I can get through this whole thing and be able to fix it and it'll get it back to its original glory. So remember, this is definitely not a tutorial video. Please just understand, because if I mess this up, I don't want to be to blame if somebody else tries this and try to follow this and end up messing up theirs as well. So I'm going to try to experiment to get this thing a shot to see if I can go ahead and change this battery out. Bear with me. Let's get started. What is going on, you guys? Your boy Famous Kid Video Game Entertainment. And before we go any further, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Click like, subscribing. It's always a big help. By the way, on the road for 3,000 subscribers. This may be a small channel, but I love our family of subscribers. But you can also hit the join button and support my dumb spinning on these handhelds and parts. If you have a tech, nostalgia, or just a gaming problem and just not ready to deal with it yet like me, then join so we can keep this problem going. If you notice, I didn't even introduce the product. I just went right in and got started on this thing, because when it comes down to these things where there's really no instructions, you're just going off the head. And that's basically what I'm doing. I guess I've been doing this for a while. If you notice, if you watch the videos, I did the Steam Deck. There are other cases, there's handhelds or different things that I do that I'm not even I'm just doing it off the top of the head and just getting started. I guess it's just a hobby I love doing, and on the side, and just figuring things out. I used to do this when I was just younger, when I try to fix my consoles and stuff like that. And I really didn't have really teaching on how to do it. I just was so interested in it to the point that I just got used to it. But when it comes down to really explaining, I'm not that good at that. That's always been my weak suit. So I usually repeat myself in a lot of cases. These handhelds can be intimidating because there are so many small tiny screws, and you have to try to remember as many parts as you can. In a lot of cases, what I'll do, sometimes I'll take pictures and I put it to the side and I just try to go ahead and try to pinpoint these pieces and trying to not mess up anything. The biggest thing I try to do is try to go, when I'm trying to get a part out, if I possibly can, I'm gonna try to get to it without unscrewing too many parts. And I know I'd seen videos of others, and I'm not trying to battle them, and they're professionals at it, but it's like I tries my best not to really tamper with too much stuff or try to move too many things, because I don't want to mess anything up to where that it can possibly like maybe mess up like a ribbon cable, or maybe like a wire get loose or something like that. So I don't want to mess up the fabric of anything like that. So that's the reason why when it comes down to it, I tries my best as much as possible to try not to like, you know, since I just try to get to the point that I'm trying to do and get to that and then put everything back. And possibly if I have the time, I try to clean up and clip my parts and everything else and put everything back and put everything away. And trying to make sure that at least this type of particular battery is like, it's one of those push-ins. So you have to take the time and push it in. But this particular battery is like, I'm trying to figure this out, if it was like basically like, is this screwed on or something like that? But come to find out, it's only sticking to it. So you just got to kind of shake it a little bit and just try to pull it out and pull it, you know what I'm saying, pull it to a certain part. But you can't pull it out too much because it's basically the ribbon is plugged up under something else. So you have to kind of dig more into it just to get to it and try to unplug that battery. This is a definite challenge. It probably might not be a challenge to others. It probably might be like super duper easy to other people, and you know, but me, I don't lie, just like, you know, when I see stuff like this, I'm like, I just don't want to mess up. I mean for real, it's just scary to get a device that's expensive like this. And I looked online, and this thing is still pretty expensive. I mean, Ayaneo products is like super crazy expensive. So when you get one of these, it's like man, it's like one of them premium. It's insane. It's definitely crazy. So now that I'm like, I got through with this and I can conversate with y'all enough, I'm just basically starting to put this thing back together, because I mean, from what y'all seeing, it's like a short version of this, but I'm basically wanted to make sure I'm just going for the putting everything back together, and then trying to go ahead and make sure I put every screw back in its place if I possibly can without missing anything. I don't want to miss no screw. I don't want to miss no spot, or because I feel like if I'm missing something, then possibly something might not work. So that's the thing. We don't want to mess anything up in this case. Now I'm so used to these handhelds. With a lot of these handhelds, in order for anything to work, or order for the battery to trigger, or even parts, you got to go ahead and plug it up first. So for what I'm about to do, I'm just gonna plug it up. I'm gonna give it about 40, maybe 50 minutes for it to charge, and then I'm gonna come back and turn it on. All right, let's see if this thing works. There it is. We got power now, and just looking at the indication down there that it is still charging and everything else. But the second test is let's unplug it and let's see if it still stays on. All right, I guess it stays on. We're good to go. So now what I'm gonna do, since I got it back here, yeah, and I got so many other handhelds, let's go ahead and I'm just gonna install SteamOS. I'm just gonna erase all this and then install SteamOS. I had this for a while, so I might as well just go ahead and just try it out. Since got a Ryzen 5, everything is stalling right. Playing more games tonight, but I got to set this up. Me and my bad singing. But anyway, it seems like everything's working out pretty well. It just seems like I was able to plug it to my monitor, have everything with the keyboard and mouse, so we haven't had no problems. And since it has that Ryzen 5, obviously, you know, it didn't give no problems installing SteamOS. And I figure by installing SteamOS, I'm probably gonna lose a lot of functions that this handheld probably gives when it comes down to performance in a lot of cases. But at the same time, there are other ways of boosting up performance when it comes down to, as I go ahead and install Decky Loader and do some things, but it's probably ain't gonna give me the same performance windows. But I guess that's just for me to experiment. Anyway, my mission wasn't really to try to like dig into SteamOS. I just wanted to show that I got it like booting up and working. But with that being said, I'm gonna be out, you guys. If you guys made it this far, I truly appreciate it. If you guys want to see more with the SteamOS and see how some of the games play, or maybe some of the ideas that I kind of came up with after installing SteamOS and seeing if it even works out, let me know in the comments. I mean, the whole point was just doing the battery and just seeing if I can get through it, but I guess I got through it, and I'm really happy that it's working out. That was the plan, and I'm pretty happy about that. All right, you guys, and from gamer to gamer, thanks for watching.